to the 10th, 12th edition of the DIGITLZ Talk. I really remember.
Sponsored, yeah, not true. It's yeah.
It's not sponsored by Coca-Cola.
Yes, and not.
This is completely self-financed. Thank you very much. No, today's topics will be interesting, I hope. Today we talk about the Surface Duo, which has finally a release date. Then we'll talk a bit about Boston Dynamics Spot Robot, which is really cool, in my opinion. Yes. And Intel's Big Data Leak. And cameras that could be under your display, and you don't see them. Cool technology. I already seen something about it, and and I guess we could start with the Surface Duo.
Yes, but we already talked about the Surface Duo.
Okay, let's skip it.
No, I mean, we talked about it. When was it? One of the second or third. DigiTalk that we did.
It was when they announced it back then.
Okay.
Since then, not a lot has happened. There were many mini teasers, but not really like, hey, it's coming. And now it's actually coming in the US.
Okay. Yeah, I actually didn't read so much about it, so the floor is yours.
Yeah, I should also update the topic. No, it will launch on September 10th this year for $1,400.
The base version?
I only read about one version. I don't know if there are two. I don't know. Well, $1,400. What do you get for that? Apparently, 2 separate OLED displays. I mean, I can show you here. I mean, I like how the device opens new opportunities.
Wait, I have just removed my head because I have my how it's called, my stand for my camera.
For the phone, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so you see it?
Yep.
Well, let's first get through the specs. $1,400, 2 displays, each with a 4:3 aspect ratio. A pretty high resolution at the end, in my opinion, if you combine them. Then the displays are not together. It's really 2 separate displays.
Yep.
And it's also possible to completely clap it or open it.
So it's not actually flexible.
Yeah. I like that approach because, in my opinion, I like that there is one company called Samsung trying to do foldable phones. Now we wait 10 years until it's good. Until then, we keep something like this.
Yeah, I mean,
so
sure,
and so approach. 2 displays, huge bezels. Like, what the hell? 1 camera with 11 megapixels.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a lot. Is it? I guess, yeah. So probably you clap it completely or open it completely, and then the front camera is also the back camera.
Okay, you have just 1 camera. That makes sense because you can fold them.
I'm reading here only about 1 camera. Yeah.
And I mean, I paid $1,400 and didn't get a shitty camera.
You get, in general, a lot of average performance, I must say. It has 6 gigabytes of RAM, which is okay. Yeah. It has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 855, which is last generation.
Yeah, but it's fine.
256 gigabytes of storage, but no 5G.
Yeah, okay, can go through with that.
Yeah, the battery is not that big as well, but they say it has an all-day battery life.
Yeah, but it's 4,400, something like that.
Yeah, I think you mostly
should be enough if it's yeah, but you have to power 2 displays, so
yeah.
It depends how they manage the power consumption. because a lot depends on the software and everything.
Yeah. I mean, the camera can record 4K at 60 FPS. It runs Android, which is really neat. You get a bumper for your device, which is included in the box. Pretty interesting.
And for what's that?
Protection, I guess.
Okay. But I mean, when I see the picture of the Surface Duo, I cannot think about the smoother and fancier version of a Nintendo DS or 3DS.
Yeah, essentially.
If you look at not here it's okay, but if you go down where it's the package, the whole package, yeah.
You need a Nintendo DS, Microsoft Surface Duo. Yeah, you're right. I think I really like the new approach. I just hope it doesn't just, how should I say it? You know, it's a new product, and after 2 years, no one is developing for it. You know, I mean, you have essentially 2 screens. So I think you have good support across apps, because essentially it's only a big phone screen, you know. And as you can see here, you can open two windows.
Yes.
2 apps.
Yeah, I guess that's the same or a really similar GIF that we saw
when it was announced.
Yes, when it was announced. So the important thing is, because I can play dice. Wait, that's nice. Okay, sorry, I was just yeah. No,
okay.
Sorry. Okay, what I was saying is, what's important is how Microsoft develops his version of Android, because Microsoft cannot use the same version of stock Android. That's not possible, because you have to manage these 2 displays. So what's really important, it's how Microsoft has developed his own version of Android, because I don't think it depends much on the app itself, because or you use it as one big screen or you have 2 screens. So the apps don't have to change that much, I guess.
I hope.
Then maybe when we see this GIF, there are always different apps. Then maybe there could be an app that has these special things for foldable phones. But the problem is not that apps will have support on that side. So it's really important for Microsoft to have a really well made.
But I mean, as they say, any app has to run. You know, from day 0, everything has to run. And I think they will support it that way, because it just opens like an app, you know.
Yes.
And probably there will be, I saw something about Pinterest, or this year. This is also like a special case. There will probably be scenarios where apps can use the screens differently. What I also did not see anymore is the keyboard. They showed a really cool keyboard. I really like that. Because you were kind of clapping it on the screen. You see here? It's like a physical keyboard now.
Yeah. Yes.
But I did not read anything about it.
Yeah, maybe they didn't. Maybe they discharged. No, not discharged. It was an idea that they didn't go through with it.
Or maybe it would just come later. I hope. Yes. Because I really want, when I've got my iPad and I'm really happy with it because it has a physical keyboard. And it's a really light device at the same time. And when I see something like the Surface Duo, I really expect it to have some kind of support for a physical keyboard, because really when I looked at that, I was like,
yeah, you
nice
cannot
try.
convert them. I mean, it would be nice, but
oh wait, is that maybe a different device? Like, oh, I think that's a different device. Wait, maybe I'm just talking shit right now. That's the Surface Neo. I think that's a different device. You see, there are two different devices.
Oh, and what's the difference?
I'm sorry for talking not the right information.
Oh, no, it's
yeah, because I was like, how do you fit a physical keyboard on that? It's like that small.
Okay, I get it now.
We have to remember it's a phone. But then there's also the Neo, and that's a different device completely. Okay, that makes also sense for that one, because why did I think about iPad here? This is such a huge phone. For a minute, I was thinking tablet.
No, it's a phone. Yeah, you have
to. It's actually a phone.
We have to remember.
And you can also open it and hold it on your ear.
But I guess you can close it, and you can. I hope that you. No, you have to clap it the other way. So when you have clapped it the other way, you use it with like a one-screen phone. Then you can answer like that. So yeah.
That's all for that device. There are no tests or anything out yet, no previews. Let's see. 10th of September, I think the price. Yeah. It's probably the highest price that you could get for that amount of technology. I don't like it.
Yeah, but the fact is, it's not a foldable display. So yeah, okay, could get pricey, but that much. I mean, I can understand Galaxy Fold, Galaxy Fold 2, or the other ones.
But the Galaxy Fold is like way more expensive.
Yeah. I mean, but I can understand that because it's actually a foldable display. This one, it's not a foldable display.
No, yeah, you're right. It's a complete different story. Samsung had to invest way more into research and development for that.
And here from Microsoft, it's more a software problem than a hardware problem.
Yeah. Okay, but that's it for that topic. Let's get over to the next one. That would be the Boston Dynamics Spot Robot.
And so what's that? Basically, we can.
Robot.
If we want to put in just 2 words and make it a little bit funny, a dog robot.
Yeah.
It's actually, if you see it, it's like a dog.
Yeah, absolutely.
So now we can see some images.
Should I share?
Yes, we can share. So.
Oops. Oh, wow.
Okay. So if you see, that's Spot. That's a robot. And so there are a lot of things that we can talk about it, but we can maybe just see for a few seconds a video.
Cool. It's so cool.
And yes, so why a dog? Because it looks like a little bit robot dog, and then you can also make him do these fancy faces where he turns his head and looks at you, or he can sit, or he can stay. You can make him hop. So actually, dogs don't usually do hopping, but yeah,
you can teach them.
Yeah. So you can do it with this robot, and yes. So why? The main question when you see something like that, it's why. Okay, it's for technology to study AI and everything, but it's so fucking expensive. If we see here on the page,
75, almost 75,000.
Yeah, 75,000. Just this one, the base model. Then if you want something more, these are the prices, as you can see. And
I like the inspection module for like another 30,000 for this one.
Yeah, but I mean, I just to have 2 or 3 more ports, you have to pay 1,275. So Yeah,
it's custom, really, everything's custom, and I think limited availability and everything.
But I mean, what I wanted to talk about more about that, it's what's his purpose, because you see it, oh, that's cool, I want it, I want to play with it, but what's actually, why did Boston Dynamics spend so much effort on that? So you can imagine there are a lot of risky jobs, and where it's that right now human goes to do these jobs, and that's not safe. So the main idea is to use robots to do these things. Let's just say an example. There are like for mining, or I mean also for when there is a big house or a big place that's really dangerous to get in because it could fall off or everything else, and you want to inspection it because you need to know if there is something valuable or other people that's there. You can actually use these robots, and you can send them and you can control it, because taking with this big controller, it's like a Android table. Wow, Android tablet.
It's actually Android.
Yes, it's an Android tablet with this like a controller. Then you see they are like the Xbox controllers.
I saw it.
With these buttons, so you have X, square, circle, and triangle. Cross, not X, but yeah. And then you can run with it, walk with it, go slow with it. So you can actually remotely control this robot. So you stay safe in your outside in your place, and you use this robot to go in these dangerous places. And yes, that's the main purpose. Then actually, the Explorer itself, as it's called also the Explorer here, it's not that useful alone. So you need some modules. For example, there's awareness. Okay, wait, I have to explain a little bit more how it works, the Explorer. So maybe I will explain a little bit, then we go into the these payload options, or you can extensions. Okay, so he has different cameras, and he creates a 3D world around him. So he detects what's around him, if there are obstacles, and he knows if there are stairs, if there is a human, if there is what type of floor is it. And in this way, he's really fast to adapt during the situations. So if you see some videos, you actually see the Spot, let's call it him Spot, is walking, and then there are stairs, and he goes really smoothly up the stairs. He doesn't have to check or bump to it. So he actually goes upstairs with really smoothly. And as if the terrains change, he detects it. Okay, also it's not perfect, but it works. So when he changes terrain, he understands that, and he also adapts. What's really cool is that he can flip over. So let's say he goes through a strange terrain and he flips over, he falls. He can put his arms upside, and so he can stand up again. So if it fails, he can stand up. So yeah, it's not always perfect, because sometimes he cannot understand what's around him and he falls, or he falls, but he can he can go up again and work again, and that's really, really important, because you don't want that it gets stuck while you are doing something. No. So the fact that it can correct his errors, that it can stand up again, it's really important, and it's really well made. So that's a huge plus. Then also on the tablet, you can deactivate some options, because each options use some motors and it use batteries. So less options you have, more battery life you have. I saw a video where the guy what was using the spot deactivated the option to understand what's going on. Okay, what's
ground
around
height
him.
detection.
Yes, something like that. And when he was then going to the stairs, he had hit the stairs for just a for a half a second. And after half a second, he already understood what was going on, and he walked the stairs really smooth up. So
it's really incredible how instantly he noticed there is something.
yes.
Like, I mean, that's really, I would say it's human, but it's counts the same for animals. Like you hit something or you trip, you know, and you instantly correct yourself.
Yes.
And he's just doing that. He notices it. Oh, damn it, there is something. And if I don't correct now, I will trip. And he instantly corrects.
Yes, and that's awesome. I mean, it's so well made. It's impressive. If you some videos, it's really, really impressive.
That's why you pay 75,000
yes.
for the base.
So it's not that you use it for having at home and doing nothing. It's used, like we said before, for really specific situations. So if you work for mining or oil, not system, where there are dangerous materials for humans and you have to detect what's going on and everything else, you use that because.
But it's also really nice to use if you just want to inspect a building.
Yes.
Like it has those awareness add-ons.
Yes.
Where you can really awareness or inspection. I think it was inspection. I don't know.
One of these two.
One of those.
No, awareness.
And then you have like really, it can create a three-dimensional view of the surroundings, and you can also program it to go those routes automatically every day. You know, and you can also use it for those simple tasks to do every day. You know. While a building is built or anything like that.
But I guess it already creates, without the awareness, it already creates a 360.
Definitely. But you can attach add-ons and you can get it really, really precise.
Yes, with this here, you have also more sensors, so it's 360. If you understand it well, also with colors, and you can really understand. Really more precise what's going on. And what's also really cool, there is a better camera, so you can stream or take photos with this add-on. And there's also microphone, so you can hear what's happening, so you can capture the sound. And you can also then talk with it. So there is also like a speaker and you can talk. So if you have to go to place A to place B and there's another human, you can talk with this human through Spot.
Yeah, that's one way to creep everyone out.
Yes. But okay, I have just a question now. So we talked before that if he falls over, he can stand up again. How you do it with these
if you go back to the, for example, the inspection, you see it has a cage, the inspection module, and also the LiDAR sensor. They have cage. So essentially, I mean, he can still trip.
Yeah, but
and fall off. I mean,
what is the cage?
You know, that's. I mean, you see the cage there around the camera. I would really like to draw on your screen.
Okay, I know what you mean. Yeah, this cage here.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that one will probably protect most of it.
No, I'm not talking about protecting. That's okay. But this add-ons is really high, okay?
Yeah, but it will still fall on his side. Since there is something on his back, he will not be able to fall on his back, you know, but he will always fall on his side. And he will, I guess, also be able to correct when he goes on his side.
I'm not sure it's because...
Buy it, try it.
I mean, let's just say he goes a place that's really steep, let's say, and then he falls back.
Yeah,
and he gets stuck.
bye $100,000.
Yeah, I mean, maybe with the hind legs he can move and he can.
I mean, you should also be careful where you go with it.
Yeah, I mean,
if it's a really difficult situation, you should really not be worried about that $100,000 plus development costs. Yeah, I mean, I guess there is still a risk. That's why you put it into a terrain or environment which is dangerous for humans. Then guess what? It's probably also dangerous for that guy.
Yeah,
dog.
less dangerous, but I mean, if you think about, okay, it's let's say you spend 1,000K on this
100K.
Yeah, 100K. How much cost a human that does the same job?
Yeah, I know, but yeah, probably the same.
Yes. So you get this.
You also save employment cost.
Yes, and you don't have any problems if a human get injured.
Yeah, but you still need an operator. Tudum.
Tourists, I mean, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you need an operator. That's right. But I mean, okay, let's make a similar calculation. You need 3 person, also 3 employees that does dangerous stuff. You buy 3 of them, and you have 1 operator. So you don't pay 2 employees anymore. And over the year, you have gained the money back. Because with one, it's just a stupid talk.
No, it's okay.
It's just to understand how, if you can actually save money with something like that.
Probably in some areas, probably. I mean, I guess just to conclude this, I like the way where they go and how much research and development they put into the spot, because it's such a small device. When you look at what they started with, dynamics, they were huge. It looked like a horse. It was so big.
And they are not smooth as this. And also this one, if you try to push them, they remain still, because even if in rest mode, so you see them just staying there and do nothing, the motors are always active and running.
It's like with this camera, the optical image stabilization is always active. You see no movement, but it's always working. And also for this robot, he always has to, I mean, first he has to carry his weight. Why I say his? It's it's weight. Hers, his, whatever. It's weight, and then of course also those correcting. That gimbal of DJI to hold the phone. The gimbal.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's kind of working like that. Even if you not move it, it's constantly draining power because it has to keep it steady.
Exactly.
And that spot is also doing a lot of micro movements that you cannot see to keep it balanced. But I'm really interested in what use cases there will be. And I mean, it would be so cool. I mean, imagine something like that getting cheaper into like $3,000 or $5,000
in the future.
Me gusto.
I mean, here you can also. What's that arm? I didn't understand what's that arm. You see, you can also telemedicine. You can put this like a tablet on it, so performance art.
Yeah, that reminds me of the Black Mirror episode.
Yeah. Oh, there is a video.
And okay.
Right.
Oh, he played with it. I want to be a famous YouTuber as well, so I can play with something like that. Oh wow, he seriously made. Okay, that's really neat.
Okay. Yeah, see, also entertainment. That's Oh, that's Facebook. Okay, let's close it. But yes,
really nice.
So it's really cool. You can do a lot of stuff with it.
Yeah.
Really pricey, but yeah, there are really a lot of applications, and
we'll see what the future holds.
Yeah.
Okay, should we go to the next one?
Of course, yes.
All right. Click, click, click. Intel. Why you so unsafe? So, what happened? There's that Swiss guy called Till Kottmann who received files from an anonymous hacker who claimed to have breached Intel earlier this year. There were 20 gigabytes of internal documents on the file sharing site Mega. And yeah, that's only one part of a multi-part series of Intel-related leaks, which will follow in the future. And I mean, I looked through what kind of, I didn't look through it, but I looked through the stuff that they leaked. And I mean, it's, a lot of stuff is marked as internal, or confidential, restricted, secret. But it really looked like a lot of information material and, well, some source codes. Like when you go up, you have for Intel ME bring up guides, flash tooling, Intel Consumer Electronics Firmware Development Kit, Intel Development and Debugging Tools, Symix Simulation for Rocket Lake.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem.
I think it's just, what I think is not really something that the public would be really interested in, you know.
Not the public.
As far as ZDNet knows, there are no sensitive data about customers or employees.
Yeah, but that's not the problem. I mean, the biggest problem is,
the biggest problem is that this is a lot of stuff that's concurrence.
Yes, but also
how's it in English? Damn it!
Concurrence. Yeah, it's
not concurrence. Competition. Oh.
Competition.
Concurrence. What the hell?
Yeah, concurrence is
that's something different. No, the competition. Like, I mean, there are so many schematics, tools, firmwares. I mean, the most boring stuff is probably Intel marketing material templates. Like, who cares?
Yeah, no one cares
but
about
all
that.
this other stuff, and you know, that's only the, sorry for interrupting you, this is only the first leak. You know, there is still other stuff to come.
Yes, and for me the problem is now you have all this information about how these chipsets works, how everything works on the hardware side, and there are already some not viruses, some how it's the right name, not bugs,
but it's kind of bugs, hardware bugs.
Vulnerabilities,
yeah.
Vulnerability.
Vulnerability.
Set it and let it say for me, please.
I cannot
yeah,
audio.
That's right. But yes, because now, I mean, if hackers, I mean, there are already hackers that have read all these materials, or hackers, or everything you want, start studying these documents. They can come up with more and more ways to
vulnerability.
Yes. Oh, that was perfect. Great.
Vulnerability.
Yes.
Vulnerability.
And everything. So, I mean, if you have all the information, you have the firmware, you have the documentation, how we said, you have the debugging tools and everything else. You can study it and discover new vulnerabilities and use them. And yeah, that's.
I really hope that there is not a lot to uncover. I hope.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is not for us simple users that have just a PC laying on our home, but it's more for, I guess, for servers or for work environment. Because if one knows how to steal data just with some hack, because it's just hardware.
But when you just see here KB Lake BIOS reference code and sample code, sources for the firmware development kit, silicon silicon source code packages for various platforms. There is so much. I mean, that's really bad.
If there is all the source code or there is documentation of the of the source code, I mean, you can just send some code somehow because there are already vulnerabilities, or the stuff that you're doing, you manage to send some code. Yeah, you can hack the system, and that's the main problem.
Intel says that he got it from the Resource and Design Center, because that's where you need to be authorized to access this Resource and Design Center. It's like a web portal, and Intel says he just had access there and downloaded this stuff and spreaded it. But the anonymous hacker himself, he says he got it from an unsecured server hosted on the Akamai CDN, and not by using an account of the Resource and Design Center. And also, this is really interesting. Where is it? It's actually the conversation. One part of the conversation. I like the last thing. Another funny thing is that on the zip files, you may find password protected. Most of them use the password Intel123 or a lowercase Intel123, like security at its finest.
Yeah.
Why have a password on that zip file if it's just Intel123?
That's one of the first that you try. I mean,
so yeah, I mean, for now, what I also think is kind of funny, there are binaries for camera drivers Intel made for SpaceX. Interesting to see. And I would really like to see the very horrible KB Lake FDK training videos. I would really like to see how bad they are produced.
We have to find the link.
Yeah. So yeah, probably some bad people will use this leak to find some more vulnerabilities. We'll see what the next leaks will show. As the anonymous hacker said, this is the first part of a multi-part series of interrelated leaks. Yeah, we will see. This is probably the beginning, like with the Nintendo leaks. I mean, you probably heard about it. There was a second leak, but there are high chances that they are together from one big leak, and someone is just putting out the data step by step. And it feels like this is the same for Intel. So yeah, let's see. I mean, 20 gigabytes is quite an amount.
Yeah, because if it's just files, and compressed files, so it's stuff. If it's documentation with gigabyte, it's something.
Yeah, so that's for that. I guess then let's go to our last topic, which would be the cameras under the display.
Yes, 1 second. I have to take my. Oh wow! I closed it. Nice.
I heard like a while ago. I saw a YouTube video of some electronic, was it CES? I don't know. Some electronic expo, and they showed one example of a camera under the display, and that was so cool because the display was actually running, like it was running, you know, and you could still take a photo. So trippy.
And I mean, these days came out the news that ZTE, it's a phone company that sells phone from China, something like that, stated that it will be the first phone having a camera under display. And there is also a tweet or on social media that they showed something where they took a photo with a underneath camera. And yes, also like often happens, the first phone that comes out with a new technology is often shitty and everything. But yes, that's not the case. What I wanted to talk more about is what's going on about that, because everything started when the phones started to have this 21:9 screen ratio, and so there was the notch. One of the first phone was the Google from
notch.
Yeah, but the first was not iPhone. The first was
I know, but
Android.
Like, this is a really popular notch because it's so big.
And so then a lot of companies try to avoid the notch. Now there is some solutions. Like last year, it was really popular, the slider, how it's called, that you can press a button or something.
The camera slides out.
The pop-up camera. And I mean, I actually like this solution because you can have really good cameras that you can pop out. And the problem is that it's easy to break and you don't have actually a waterproof IP68. So it had some downsides, yes. Disadvantages, this solution. And now what's more popular is these holes on the screen. Also, I have a OnePlus Nord.
Show us your OnePlus Nord. Haha, you can.
No, I'm using two.
Do you have a mirror or something?
What?
A mirror.
Why?
So you can show your phone.
No, how can I show my phone? I'm using my...
I mean, like have a mirror like this, you know? Now you can see my camera, but you're using the OnePlus right now.
Yes, I'm using the OnePlus and it's back.
It's the back side. Okay, sorry. I thought you were using the front side.
No,
sorry.
The back camera.
Sorry.
And so yes, also Samsung is using these punch holes and everything. And the next step, around already 2 years talking about these technologies, having the display under camera. We have something similar. It's like the how it's called? The
fingerprint reader.
Thank you. Fingerprint reader under display, and what it actually it's maybe a similar solution, because what you have to do is go through the display and see what's the other side. Let's say a very simple way. And for the camera, it's a little bit more difficult because you have to take a picture, and there are problems with that. So one problem is you can have a camera besides that is underneath the display. The display could be also transparent in this portion of the display. So when you have to take a photo, there are no pixels, something like that. But the problem is there are some artifacts because there is a display over it. So we can see a photo here.
Yeah, show it.
I can share my screen. So yes, that's like a photo from underneath display, underneath camera, and you see there are these artifacts. You see, come on the shirt. One is more dark, one is more light.
I can see it's like vertical lines.
Yes, there are these vertical lines. So how you solve these problems? Microsoft is really working on that, is trying to solve this problem, and it has to combine a T-OLED display, so that one part it's transparent and the camera can go through, and also algorithms. So it's really important, the software part. And in this article, they are saying they are using some neural network to understand how to solve the problem, because apparently they should be always the same artifacts in such a photo.
And I mean, it's always the artifacts come because of the display, and the display is always fixed.
Yes.
So it should be predictable where those artifacts will be.
Yes, but it's still not finished. And with adding the software part, they were able to take a picture like that. So it's better. It's not that good, because if you see, it seems still that there are some vertical lines a little bit, but it's already something. So you can actually see the differences. That's a lot of improvement.
Yeah, definitely.
Improvement. So that's the race. There are different companies. There is Microsoft, there is ZTE, Oppo, Xiaomi, TCL that are trying to achieve this solution. And yes,
this is so tricky, because when you, I mean, the display should usually try to, how should I explain? I mean, you want to have it show content.
What do you mean, sorry?
I try to explain it. It's just so trippy, that below the display, you still have the camera. I mean, I know a similar case when you, let me just look that up. Wait. No, I only get creepy pictures here. I noticed something back a while with my camera when I pointed it to the blinds. What I have here in the background of my window.
Yeah.
The jalousie, I know what it's in English. Blinds. That's with a specific setting, I was able to look kind of through the window, because the blinds had the little holes. It has little holes, and kind of when you have the focus, and if you have a really wide camera opening and you focus out, then you can kind of see through the blinds, because you kind of use the light that still comes through those little holes. And I think they use some kind of similar technology to kind of look through the display, but also not.
Yes.
And that's really trippy. I mean, at the end, the camera there is really tiny. And so they really need to fix it for one spot. But then again, you also don't want the display quality to suffer, Because at that little point, you don't want it to look different.
No, it should always be seen the pixels and everything. So it's really tricky, because you don't have to notice. And one of my concerns is more photos at night.
Yeah, also that. I think, they will sacrifice a lot of light for that.
Yes, and also, I mean, when you are at night in your bed and you want to take a selfie, and you can use the flash. So usually the front camera doesn't have a flash, but what they do is make the display all white and a lot of brightness, so your face is illuminated, and you can take a selfie during the night. With these displays, then how it works, I mean, it will be really complicated. And also, I guess the artifacts will be really more present. So the software has really to be good that eliminates all these artifacts on the pictures.
So yeah, I mean, we'll see how that will work out. I mean, I think probably in 1 or 2 years, I can really imagine that someone will have that kind of technology, especially something like Xiaomi or Oppo.
But ZTE is coming out with one. I mean, they're saying that they have a phone that's already working with it.
Yeah.
We don't know.
I've seen a working prototype in the video once.
Yeah, so they will release something, maybe not this year, but 2021. There will be a ZTE phone with camera under display. It will be shitty, I guess, but yeah.
Let's hope for the best.
That's always like that. I mean, the first phone that had underneath fingerprint, how it's fingerprint?
Sensor. Yeah.
Sensor. Thank you. Wow. Was also shitty, really, really slow, and was one of these companies. I don't know if it was ZTE or Oppo.
Samsung had one. It was so slow.
Yeah, but it was not the first one. We can actually check.
Yeah.
First under. A Vivo. Vivo X21, yes. And it was, really slow. But I mean, these companies try to be the first because you make marketing about that. I was the first. You can say that you were the first, and that's pure marketing. And there is some people that will buy it just because so they have it as first.
Yeah.
But yes, usually
but they will still be proud of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's something to be proud. I mean,
yeah. So let's see. So I guess we're done with our topics for today. So thank you very much, whoever is watching. Stay tuned for the next episode next Wednesday. Same time, same place on Twitch and YouTube. Feel free to subscribe and follow. We would really appreciate that. And I guess see you next Wednesday. So bye, everyone.
Ciao, ciao.